Pollinator habitat is much more than just prairie flowers. While we often think of high quality, diverse pollinator habitat in the prairie, that's certainly true. But the trees, shrubs, certainly grasses and forbs all comprise habitat for pollinators, right? Especially early in the season, right? Early season, some of the trees and shrubs can be fantastic forage resources for pollinators. Here's a couple of examples of some trees and shrubs, grasses and forbs that are fantastic pollinator habitat. Let's start with the oak. So the oak is a fantastic resource for pollinators because the leaves provide food for the caterpillars of over 500 species of butterflies and moths, right? So that oak tree is providing a home for a ton of different species. So oak is a top-notch tree for providing pollinator habitat, not necessarily forage. Well, in this case, it would be the leaves for the caterpillars. Willow. So yes, a lot of folks can sometimes consider willow a weedy native, but they provide a lot of early pollinator forage in the season, right? And then of course, as a tree, it also provides important shelter and nesting sites. So willow is a fantastic tree species real early in the season that can provide some forage to our pollinators. Wild plum, and this is one of my favorite photos of this entire presentation. So leaves, again, for the wild plum are going to provide food for over 400 species of caterpillars. And then, of course, the flowers themselves are going to be providing for pollinators and fruit for humans and wildlife. So wild plum is a great all-around species, not specifically for pollinators, but yes, it benefits pollinators, it benefits all sorts of birds. The fruit can be food for humans, so a wonderful species to include in any woody project where you might be trying to attract pollinators. One of my favorites, elderberry. So elderberry is an agroforestry crop. It's one of the most fantastic ones because elderberry is high in antioxidants, maybe not as high as the aronia berries, but certainly very, very high in antioxidants. And they have a dual purpose too. I love this picture specifically because it shows not only the wonderful white flowers, which can be harvested themselves to make delicious syrups, elderberry syrups and things like that, but then the berries. The berries are delicious in jams and jellies and juices, and again, has that high level of antioxidants. But elderberries as a native shrub is certainly going to provide nectar and then nesting habitat as well, because elderberries have these hollow stems, and so they can be very effective for some of these borehole pollinators that are using trees and shrubs and other hollow stems to lay their eggs in. So. Cytodrama. So native grasses provide pollinators with shelter, nesting habitat, and they play an important role in supporting flowers and reducing weed competition. So this is a nice grass that we can include in some of our pollinator habitat plantings. And then prairie dropseed. This is one of my favorites because it's a nice clumping grass, and in the middle of the summer, when you cut it, it smells like buttered popcorn. So it's a really nice landscape plant as well to include in your pollinator habitat.